And hello everyone, and welcome. Oh, so you need to flip your screen around in Richard's studio. Perfect. There we go. Welcome everyone. So here we are. Hopefully lots of you saw us yesterday with the private view and had lots of fun there. And today is our first live broadcast with one of our artists. And our artist today is Richard Heeps. Hello Richard, welcome.
Hi there, everyone.
So Richard has the honour of going first, and I was saying to everyone yesterday when I was talking about how we selected who would go first, it was all in a lucky dip, because I didn't want anyone to think that we'd done it like on a priority because I'm a photographer, I picked a photographer or anything like that. So no, I put everyone's name in a hat and I just pulled them out so that we didn't end up with anything like, you know, a batch of painters altogether or a ceramicist or whatever. So yeah, it was all very, very low tech. Didn't use any tech to select everyone. And when we chose who would go first in the magazine as well, we did it on who submitted first, so that all the people who've by default changed their name so that their surnames begin with A lost out on that one, because they're always at the beginning of magazines, aren't they? So yeah, we did a random selection. I love all that random stuff. So Richard, welcome. Richard, live from your studio. Whereabouts is your studio?
It's pretty much in central Cambridge. It's like a half a mile out of the centre. So we're very lucky, you know, where I'm situated, because pretty much all that way is the university. So this is one of the nearest, I suppose, privately owned houses near the centre. So I'm very lucky in that aspect.
And do you do open studios as part of Cambridge Open Studios?
I do, and that's very much how I started. I probably did open studios 25 years ago. I think only Oxford and Cambridge were running open studios in those days, and it was a big thing. It was very, very hard. I mean, it was a big learning curve. I mean, I'd done a lot of major exhibitions, but open studio was a completely different thing. I wasn't very successful. I wasn't very successful at all. I mean, I think photography, it's a certain way you've got to present it. But I certainly, like, after 2 or 3 years of it not working, I made it work. Made it work for me. I think I had to really think about how to present the work so someone could take it away, really, which has been the ethos of everything I've done.
I think that's the great thing with open studios, isn't it? It's a massive learning curve for us, the artists, as well, because you have to learn how to talk about your work and how to create the narrative and create the picture for the person who comes into your studio, and all the atmosphere in your studio. And then you also have to think about making it in a package suitable for them to take away and just hang straight up in their house, etc.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, another thing I should say is, like, what's important about this space and the studio is when I did open studio, I was in a shared studio, and that's a very different situation when someone's coming round, going from one space to another. So then I started showing which was my house, and it just seemed to be a lot more successful. People, you can show a lot more of your personality, how you show the art, how you make the art. So and it's just really interesting, like, what's going on now. Like, here we are doing this event today, but it's almost like every day now is open studio, even though we're not open. We're online. The studio does look like a bomb's hit it, but we're going through a process where we are spending an awful lot of time on lighting, just so you don't get flickering lights and things like that, and make it very nice on camera. It's not just.
I think there's a couple of top tips in there, isn't there, for everybody who's doing this kind of thing. One is, it's really important, the environment that you create, whether you're having an environment for people to come in real time or whether it's people are coming in digital time. the environment and the context that they see your work has a massive impact on how people approach you and whether they connect with your work. And yeah, we were just saying before we came alive on air, about pulling the blind down to stop the bright light sunlight coming in. Which I hate the thought of shutting the sunlight out, but actually it's really important because your work is very highly colour saturated, and to get the best of that you need to really work on that environment that you're showing the work in. Absolutely. Should we just have a quick look at your work on screen here? I've got it in the middle, so I'm going to just put this up on screen to show everyone your page in the ART360 magazine. Have a quick, there we go. So this is Richard's page, and as you can see, Richard's work is highly colour saturated, very kind of that pop of the bright blue and the bright red. And as soon as I saw it come through in the submissions, I was really taken with it. I was like, oh, I would love to do an exhibition of this artwork, especially as, I have this affection for photography as well. So yeah, you're on page 47 in the Pure Arts Group ART360 magazine, and if we go on to the website, you can see it's I think we showed everyone yesterday, it's on the read page under ART360 magazine. And also we were just saying about you're on live all the time. We were saying about this walls as well yesterday. Lots of people have been posting up on the wall, so hopefully, Richard, you can post some of your artwork up on our wall. That would be super cool. All you have to do is you have to hashtag Pure Art360, and that will arrive live on our website and constantly updating all day. And lots of people have been actually videoing their screen, so that's really keeping it all really up to date. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put you up on the full screen, Richard.
Okay.
There you are. So you are now taking the screen. And it'd be really cool if you could give us a little tour and tell us about the work you're working on right now in your studio.
Well, I'm going to say about the studio. I mean, it is my house and it is my studio. And something that happened was, I live in one of the shortest roads in Cambridge, and a guy came up to me 20 years ago, do you know an artist who wants a studio? So I started at the end of the road in his space he had. And then he moved, and everything came into the house. So, but I quite like living on top of my art. I mean, I don't think that'd be everyone's cup of tea. I learn myself what I like and what I don't like. But I quite like I can have an idea, and I can just sort of like, there it is. I don't know if you can look around that way. There's all my files around.
Yeah, your bright yellow files, which are so they're so evocative, aren't they? It's like I want to have a look in those boxes now. I would love to come to your open studio, and I bet you wouldn't let. I mean, I'm sure you've got gloves and everything for everyone to look through those. But those boxes are like sweet. It's like a sweet shop to me. I'm like, whoa! I need to look in those boxes.
Yeah. So what I'm working on now is, because we were doing 10 or 12 art fairs a year, so there's a lot of time on the road. Obviously, with COVID going on right now, we're not doing any art fairs. I was working on a project on Milan, which is kind of like long term and ongoing. I show it every year in Milan. Hopefully we will be able to show in Milan again next year. So as I can't do that at the moment, I've been photographing. We live on a large gyratory, which is a large roundabout. And I've been photographing the laundrette across the road. There's a Staples that's closed down, but I love the red at Staples. So I've been really photographing the neighbourhood, what's on the doorstep. And I've gone back to photographing the area in North Cambridgeshire, the Fens, which was the start of my photographic journey. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. The other thing, I think because I've been exhibiting non-stop, doing fairs for like 15 years, I think it's quite nice to have a bit of a break, actually. And I'm using this time to make new work, get work up on the internet. So it's quite a sort of like interesting time. But this used to be the lounge. It still is kind of the lounge. There's no
sofa.
I've been living here on and off for like 30 years. So it's quite a long time. But now it's becoming much more like the studio.
Yeah.
But being a photographer, I mean, the real place of creativity really is out photographing landscapes in towns or being in the darkroom. I mean, the darkrooms are very, you get your negatives, and then it's what you actually do with them in the darkroom. So this is our lounge. Not quite.
I'm feeling a lot of empathy for your wife right now.
This is this is the hallway. We've got to show our beautiful.
You're going to have to show your yellow door.
Yeah, that yellow door.
Look at that.
Painted today. So this is like a theme going on from the yellow boxes.
The yellow boxes, yeah.
Responsibility for this. Everyone, when they come in, they get.
There's a yellow thing on the table there as well. Is that another yellow box?
No,
that's another yellow box.
There's even
yellow pieces of equipment. Those boxes are everywhere, aren't they?
There's 30 years of
yellow boxes.
And then what's interesting, you open up these boxes, and it's like the prints look as fresh, even though they're like 10, 20 years ago. So it's
yeah. You have to be super careful with the prints, obviously. This is a stairwell. Look at that! Wow. So is this all your artwork in the stairwell?
Well, it's a small fraction.
But there's, what I mean is, it's not other art. You're not showing other artists as well. It's just yours.
The records are a collaborative piece of work with Natasha Heidler. It's a bit different to the other work, but at the same time, it's very me, because I've been really inspired by vinyl records, record covers, and I like analog technology. I mean, I use a darkroom. So yeah, everything's kind of like analog. So
you can see that you like all of the analog because of all of that kit you've got in your studio. I was like, what is that? There's a big red thing that looks like it. I don't know. It's a compressor. That looks like a compressor. I'm like, that's a compressor. Why has he got a compressor in there?
That's to blow off all the dust.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
The framing.
Yes, absolutely. I see that now.
You can see the stairwell, and then unfortunately, because we are literally the painter has just left and the carpenter have just left. There's going to be like another gallery space upstairs.
I hope you found somewhere else for your wife to live. It seems that it's all turned into a gallery.
We're not married yet.
Oh, okay. I married you off. I've even got you married. Well, maybe there's something you want to say today, Richard.
I really don't know. And then,
dear.
And then we've got the. But yeah, so let me go into our kitchen.
Okay. Oh, into your kitchen. Wow. And there's more yellow. We've got more yellow in there.
Yeah. It's just great. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit over the top. Some people have come in and gone, wow, 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 and some people have gone, oh my god, there's too much yellow for me. But
what about
these though? What about these?
Oh my goodness! Even the light switches. You have fully embraced the yellow. I am proud of you.
It's not everywhere. But I mean,
so these are from the collaboration.
Yeah, these are from the collaboration. But I do like putting complementary colours together that works well with the records. There's also like the tapes that we've done, the cassette tapes. And I think when I'm out photographing, being a color photographer. I do like putting, again, complementary colors together. So I like cool colors and warm colors, trying to combine them. I think some of my most successful pictures have done that. I don't think I was necessarily conscious about that when I initially did it, but now I'm a little bit more aware of that. And certainly some of the Milan work has got a lot of bright colours.
So when you're out photographing, I presume you go out in a car, do you? You go out in your car, or do you go out on a bike?
It all started off going off in a car, and it's like car journeys, trips inspired me. But now I'm really, like in Milan, I don't use a car. I really like kind of just embedding myself in a place for a long time. So, and the first work I did in America, there I was very much a road trip. Last time I photographed in America, I chose to be just in one town for 8 days. So I'm on foot. I can see something, and then I can keep on going back to it, shooting it at different times of the day. All the different lights through the day. And I also like putting together, making large contact sheets. That's another part of my. I haven't got one of those on show at the moment, but I like blowing up contact sheets. It was something I tried about 8 years ago, and no one was interested in it. Now everyone likes everything to look really kind of filmy. So the more filmy we can get it. So like, the reflections are really bad. I don't know how
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go onto your website and show everyone on your website shortly. So that'll obviously have no reflections on it, but it's really nice to see it in situ. That is super cool. So yeah, with the Kodak down the side, love it.
That's the way I'm going at the moment.
Yeah, it's like really honest, and it's got so much integrity because you're not trying to be something you're not. It is a photograph. That's exactly what it is. And it's got that honesty and integrity with it, but it's also quite poppy, and it's quite modern, and quite...
It's old but modern. I love it.
It's old but modern, yeah.
I love when you can put the two together. I mean, I like music. It's got like a bit of a synthesizer and a little bit of strings as well. It's when you kind of sort of put it all together. But one thing where I used to do, one of the reasons, it was like it must have been about 15 years ago when I did Open Studio. People would come through the door, Richard, and they kind of go, "Oh, you haven't gone digital yet, Richard, and when are you going to go digital?" Like I was some sort of Luddite, that maybe I was. And like now they go, "Oh my God, look at this film, Richard, da-da-da-da-da." So it's amazing, how things in your career can sort of, can really change.
I think you have to stick to what's true to you, don't you? I mean, I did all analog photography, and I got really fed up when it went digital, because everyone would come to a show and they go, "Oh, my cousin Frank's a photographer, and he's just got this new digital camera," and you were like, "Oh, I'm really losing the will to live on this one." And but actually, I did exactly the same as you. I just kind of actually went back. And the more I went back, the more modern the images became. It was incredible.
You're right, yes.
Yeah, dig deep into the archives of photography history. And I love that. The piece that you just showed us, absolutely superb. So, and I love this one at the back here. So it says photo. Where was that taken?
That's taken in Milan as well. Yeah. So...
obviously you haven't been to Milan this year.
I did actually.
Richard.
No, yeah, the show was in February.
Oh,
so I showed this work. This is the kind of work from 2 years ago, and that other one, the Tabaki, was from. This is what I showed this year.
Yeah.
So I went back. I photographed, and I have to say, I mean, no one knew it was like COVID city, but I did the show. I'd been there for about 8 days, and I tell you what, who knows, but I felt absolutely terrible on the Monday and the Tuesday, and I was joking. I think I've got it only just been given a name. I was joking. I think I got that, and yeah, I might have actually. So
you'll never know. I know
we really did dodge a bullet on that show, because it all carried on, and if it'd been 2 weeks later, then it wouldn't have run.
No, so you managed to get some images in the camera while you were there.
Yeah, I kind of got off my deathbed. I mean, I felt absolutely lousy, and it was like today. It was the most beautiful springy lights, and I knew what I wanted to photograph. But like I said, I thought I was dying for 2 days, and then I thought I've got to shoot, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out. We're just not too sure whether the show's going to run yet in February or September.
Yeah, it'll all happen. It'll all happen as it's meant to happen. I mean, and the great thing is that I just think the no one would have wished this on the world, but these all present new opportunities to us, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all new opportunities. Like there's all, they're sort of saying, retail's like, online's like moved 5 years. Well, this has all really moved along, and I was really surprised, because I literally thought when lockdown started, I was going to be spending 3 months in a darkroom printing up all my work, but that wasn't the case, because people were looking and buying online. So we got really busy. I mean, yeah. So it's only like this month's been, well, not this month. August has been. Yeah. August was traditionally quiet. It's been quiet, and you can sort of catch up a little bit.
And I think that's what you would expect, because most people are like, it was kind of easing out a little bit of lockdown, and people were like, okay, I'm going to go and try and get a bit of a holiday in, whether it's a staycation or whatever. And you had all that eat out to help out. Have you managed to photograph an eat out to help out sticker? I can imagine a Richard Heeps eat out to help out.
I don't know why. I don't know if I should say this, but I didn't really want to do the sort of the lockdown art. But I say that, and then there was this. I like photographing scarecrows, and then there was like there was a field just outside of Cambridge, and there was like a special scarecrow made in a sort of doctor's outfit, NHS sort of love scarecrow, but really was scaring a field at the same time. And I shot that, so that was like lockdown. And the other thing was, I like photographing laundrettes, and they were just totally, no one was in a laundrette. You just go around photographing in a completely different way to normal. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, I didn't go miles looking for laundrettes, and there's just one.
No, don't worry, we're not going to send in the police. Where did Richard go? Oh, I can hear it now.
I did jump out. We were like still delivering art in London. It was all right. You're allowed to drive a van to deliver art, I believe. Yeah. And there's like, that's an interesting shot. So you jump out of the van, and it was like got the shot. So there's my sort of, that was not there again. It's like it's an opportunity to take pictures in a way you normally can't.
Yeah, with so few people and so few cars getting in your way, because the world of photographing out, I love that paparazzi kind of photography. And there's always, you're always kind of taking an odd angle where you're laying on the ground trying to get all the people out of it.
Yeah, well, you certainly could have laid in the middle of the road when that was
absolutely.
Going on, and but you might get arrested for meant to be in lockdown. But
yeah, what are you doing? You're laying on the South Circular.
I did go and photograph. I mean, maybe this is it's still very confusing. What you were meant to do and what you weren't doing. If you couldn't work from home, well, I'm a photographer. I can't work from home.
No,
well,
absolutely.
I can, yes, I guess I can. And I was photographing the Walthamstow dog track stadium, and there was certainly lots of police went past me, and they didn't sort of say what.
Well, I think, as you say, you can't actually photograph Walthamstow dog track from your house. That's actually impossible.
No, that's right.
Well, not unless you can. I don't know. Some is it astral astral planing or whatever. So I don't think that I think you'll be absolutely fine, and you need to get these shots. I mean, I did a lot of photography around and about here, and I was actually stimulated to do that because there were so few people around, and I thought, okay, Lesley, take your. So you were showing us some cameras earlier. Really lovely to see, and you talked through the cameras that you use.
Right. So this is a Mamiya RB67. Now this is my main camera that I've been using for the last 20 years. It's a real, I don't know if you got one of these, Lesley, but it's a real weight to carry around. But it's so versatile because you can change the back, which I think is called, it's called an RB because it's a revolving back, and the negative is 6 centimeters by 7 centimeters. So you don't have to put the camera on its side to photograph in portrait. You just swivel the background. And why I love it as well is you've got these bellows here. It's an accordion looking thing that allows you to photograph really close up. I've tried to
you get the most amazing quality of image from a medium format like that. It's just incredible quality.
And it's just incredible now. I mean, film quality is so good. I mean, I use apparently the Kodak finest grain in the world. That's what they say. But anyway, you can just keep on blowing this up, and the quality is really, really amazing. But it does get heavy carrying it around. It's like, because you'd have the extra lenses as well, but I've got used to using this. I've got other cameras that are really, really good, but they haven't got the versatility.
Under that shirt, there's massive muscles, isn't there?
I've got no muscles. I don't know actually. I've got a really bad back as well.
That might be why.
I don't know. They've caused it. Carrying literally hundreds, thousands of frames, I think, is the killer. But I've been really surprised. To be honest, I've got a bit of a limp actually, and I still manage around Milan to walk, I think, miles and miles in the day. And I think sometimes the cameras on the right hand side actually kind of balances me out.
We're getting all the ailments now. Do you buy from me? Is this the buy from me? I am a wounded artist. I have hurt myself for my art.
It's the frames. The frames just like weigh so much. It's like there's no way around that. Really.
Do you sell online? So we're going to have a look at. What I'm going to do now is pop your website up online. So you're going to come down in the corner small with me, and we're going to pop your website up online. Do you sell online unframed? So
I do. There was I should say, Eleanor is holding the phone, the camera. So we are a double act. Okay. So
That's why I have such compassion for Eleanor. She's got no sofa. She's got no living room.
She's attracted to artists for some reason. She's putting a face.
I'm sure if we could see Eleanor now. So yes, so you do sell. So you're saying, do you sell unframed or is it all framed?
I sell unframed as well. I do everything. There was a real reluctance to sell something which was not in a frame, because I think that the C-type gloss prints that I like making are very, very delicate. But some people, they just want to do their own thing with their framing. I understand that. So we do sell print only. I don't know what Eleanor would say, what percentage. I mean, it's pretty low what it is, the print only. I mean, normally what this is our sort of.
I love that piece. Is that Eleanor in a headscarf?
No. Do whatever you want it to be, but
I want that to be Eleanor.
I don't normally stage pictures. But this is a very specific piece of work I wanted to do, which is about driving around. It's kind of I wanted someone to model my mother's headscarf. It's about a childhood memory, being in the back of a car. Apparently, like most women of that era, wore this specific Marks and Spencer's headscarf.
We do like to promote Marks and Spencer's. We better say, and you can get this from all retailers.
They're a bit of trouble at the moment. They might need a bit of help. But
they might appreciate that.
Yeah, how many people have responded to this image? I mean, really, really emotionally. I mean,
it does. It got me immediately.
I mean, tears. You know, so because you can't see the person, so you can project whoever you want it to be.
Absolutely genius idea, and the conception's genius, but the delivery is just amazing, because I don't know, but my memories of my mother, and absolutely, I mean, I won't go there, but my mum used to wear hot pants as well. We're not even going to discuss that.
My mum didn't.
But it's like your memories are in that colour frame, aren't they? They're in that kind of pop of colour, oversaturated. My memories come back to me like that, and so as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that's bringing a lot of meaning. I'm bringing a lot of meaning to my experience of looking at that image. Yeah, I definitely.
But this size has been very successful.
And do you generally do the black frames as well? You've got the black frames with the.
It really goes.
You've got black, white, yeah.
Sorry, Eleanor's trying to make me be somewhere.
I just don't want the lights.
You want to be able to see the picture.
Yeah.
It really is a fashionable thing. I mean, I started off always in a black frame, not a box frame, like this. So then I started the box frame, and I sold a lot more frames. Basically, it was very, very popular. And then I kept on getting people saying, well, can I get it in white? And I had a real resistance, because if you ever know, like, trying to keep a white frame fresh is a nightmare. With this, you can restain it. But then
stiffy bags is what I say to you. Have you got stiffy bags?
I've got. You know, I go crazy now on protection. The blue stuff, the stiffy bags.
Yeah.
The whole works. Then we started the white frames, and they were really popular. Everyone wanted white frames. Then we went all white frames, and then the strange thing now is everyone wants black frames again. So you just have to be able to. We don't do anything in between, I should say. We don't. It's like wood.
It's
like
black or white.
It's black or white. That's online. I think I've got like 2,000 or 3,000 images.
Let's have a quick look at your website.
So that's the variety, But
let's bring your website up, and let's have a quick look at your website. Here we go. So this is the About You page. And that's where I read that you started off painting. Early paintings of Manhattan was a recurring theme.
I did. I can't believe it. There was a painter. I was a painter. This was like when I was like 13. I was like really, really. Maybe everyone has this. I don't know. Obsession about painting Manhattan and the skyline. But I mean, one of the biggest thrills that's happened was like how long ago? It was about 6 years ago. There's a big photography festival that happens in Brooklyn underneath it's underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. It actually happens in containers, and that was just like completely insane. And we were like on the second story height of the container. So the view I'd painted was actually in front of me, and I was showing the pictures of the records at the time. And I think also I was inspired by that Manhattan skyline, by the Supertramp, A Breakfast in America.
Yeah.
Anyone knows that cover. So I think that inspired the Manhattan. And again, it was interesting because they hadn't even gone to America, I don't think, when they did that that album. But so we actually bought a vintage record player in America. So it was there when we arrived. So we were actually playing Supertramp's Breakfast in America, The View I'd sort of painted. So it all kind of all came together. I was like 6 years ago.
So let's have your website up, and then you can talk us through some of these. So these are your collections. So and this is all on your website. So if we click on here on Ordinary Places, I'm presuming we're going to go through to a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, Ordinary Places.
There we are.
Is kind of like, there are certainly some images in there that look very painterly.
This one particularly, I think, has quite a painterly feel to it.
Well, I mean, I think why I don't paint, I don't rush to get a thing, because I don't like altering anything. I mean, I like the fact that photography is like capturing it in theory in one. So, I don't. And
on here, I see that like we were talking about earlier, so you can pick the size, which is absolutely brilliant, and how many in the edition, and then choose the frame colour, black or white, and then what kind of glass you want. So at the moment, obviously, until you pick a frame, then you don't get the options, but you do the standard and the anti-reflective, and then buy it now. So do you show your work on other marketing platforms as well as your own website?
I do.
Yeah, good.
I will.
Correct answer.
Well, we were watching a web thing the other day. I don't even know who they were, and they were sort of saying you should just put all your effort into your own site. Well,
But if you put all your effort into your own site, then you've got to do all the marketing for your own site as well.
It's going to be a very limited. I mean, how are people going to get to my site? And we know the percentages of where we sell in the world, and it's like, I think it's like 40% to the US. I'm not sure. I'm looking at Eleanor where I'm.
Quick, Eleanor, come up with the data.
And it's like, to Europe. I mean, we were just laughing yesterday about the fact that we look on our website and we look at who's looking at my website, and it's always Italians. I'm very,
You're
like
big in Italy.
There isn't a website that's really got my work in Italy, but I mean, so.
What do you think? Which marketplace then do you think is the one that's most successful for you?
Ooh, I think. Well, it's there's three. Ella's going. Okay. What am I going to say now? I think there's my own website.
Yeah.
So that's and like I have been, full on. I don't know anyone who's been more full on than me, exhibiting in other art fairs over the last 15 years. So there's a residual kind of thing of giving out all those cards over that time, drawing people to my site. I also run a gallery, Bleachbox. Well, Eleanor runs the gallery. So I've got my own gallery website. So that does like a lot of major art fairs. So that draws that. And the third one, again, because I suppose I have been associated for, I don't know, I think Bleachbox has been showing with the Affordable Art Fair for 15 years. Again, people know my work from that fair. And then there are other websites.
Do you do the Saatchi online one with the other art fair?
I do the Saatchi one online. I haven't been, to be honest, I haven't been so successful on that site.
And that's interesting because it's a very busy site.
It's a very busy site. I don't want to sort of trash them.
No, because they do an amazing job.
But it's a very, there's probably like how many artists are there and how many pieces of work are there. So it's probably a very competitive.
And what people appreciate really, Richard, is you being honest and saying how it works for you, because there'll be a lot of people watching this who'll be interested in buying your work, but there'll also be a lot of people on here interested in your journey and looking for inspiration and seeing how you've got through.
If I was an artist, I'd say get your work on the Saatchi website. I'd say get yourself on the Art Finder website. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, and I mean, it nearly happened. Like literally, see, going back to the Saatchi side, is we nearly got a sale to New York for 40 of those records you saw in the kitchen. Now, for whatever happened, it didn't work out. It nearly worked out, and you never know. Who's going to be seeing it, which interior designer's going to be seeing it. The more people see your imagery, the more it's in your head. I mean,
exactly. I think it is the touch points. We were talking about this yesterday. The more touch points you can have, the better. And in classic marketing, you always needed to have 3 touch points before you would convert someone into a sale. And so
right. We listen. See, that's interesting what you said. It's what you just said, because I think we were listening to someone who was saying before someone would buy something, they might have seen it 12 or 13.
Yeah, absolutely. But they have to have a minimum of 3 touch points before you're going to... Minimum of 3 touch points before they're going to feel... Because it's about the trust relationship. That's the trusting. They're like, because there's so much scamming goes on these days. It's like, okay, they're on their website. They're in this. They were doing that. I saw them on this. Okay, I'm now feeling a trusting relationship with... I'm prepared to go on and press the button and buy, and I know that stuff is going to arrive at my house.
And that's what's really important about those third-party websites, because maybe they build
trust.
I've got a very good reputation on Trustpilot.
Yeah.
But
good man. You see, that's the thing as well. It's that Trustpilot as well.
I know. I mean, once you see, this is it. You see, once you start this game, it is a game. To say that, but but it is a game. It's like, well, you've got to do the Trustpilot thing, and that really means you've got to get that artwork to someone quickly and as safely as possible, because you're all the time being judged.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing, which is the hard thing about, I'd have to think really hard about doing. We went off to Asia and photographed for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if I could do that now. That's another reason why I've got to be a little bit local, is you have really got to be able to dispatch that artwork within two or 3 days. I mean, that's what we're gearing ourselves. I mean, some people are just fine, but I mean, we've got a client this week, and they really want the work by Friday. That's for someone's birthday, and this is the market. People are buying art for birthdays. And you've got to be able to dispatch that. And
you have to be able to dispatch it safely, as you say. It's really important, because someone asked me yesterday, were we going to print the magazine? And I said, absolutely not, because can you imagine a pile of printed magazines and 3 people touch them and one person takes it home and everyone in their household is contaminated with whatever germs that were touched. So safety is really important with that delivery. And that's another good reason to use a third party, I suppose, when you're new to this. When you're new to this game, it's quite good to use a third party, because then you're removing yourself. But you won't get the speed that you're talking about. No, you won't
well, I think this is another thing. If I have a gripe, not with all third party websites, Ella's going to be, what am I going to say?
Eleanor, don't panic.
If someone contacts us, we don't turn our phones off at night.
No.
So we've this week we got a client in Australia. So the problem about third-party websites depends what are they on or are they off? Someone's going to have a question, and there might be a 24-hour lag before they necessarily get that answer. So that's
Which can be frustrating and then can end up in not getting the sale. So people coming directly to your website. So you would say, come to my website,
No, I'm not,
visit me.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying. I'm just like, well, I have a theory. Just like whatever way you get the sale, that is the important.
Oh, absolutely.
The important thing is you get this. You get the sale. I'm just saying there's a problem because the third party wouldn't necessarily know everything about the artwork. They was then send you an email and say, tell the client wants to know. It's just something you have to be aware of. And even like on a third party website, they're operating in a different time zone to you. So if they've got a question they want to ask you, you've got to get that answer as quickly as possible.
You have a responsibility
that we have to deal with to deliver the work. But as in terms of wrapping the artwork up, I mean, I go completely, utterly, some might say overboard. I will make sure, touch wood. That it's not going to get broken, even if I'm sending a glazed piece to Australia. I will, it might cost me more in terms of all the wrapping material that I'm using, but I will make sure that I will get that safely to the client. And luckily, nothing has.
And hopefully, Trustpilot are watching. I'll give you another tick.
I want to see it. Yeah.
So. If anyone's interested in seeing Richard's work, there's the Visit Richard's website button at the bottom of here, and obviously in the magazine there's all the click-throughs to all of your access points to email and etc. Are you represented, apart from your own gallery, are you represented by any other galleries? Because this is another really critical relationship for artists, to manage that gallery relationship, isn't it?
I've got with the fairs and affordable art fairs that I don't necessarily do myself. I've got a relationship with Tag Fine Art. So they mainly take my work to Asia. Interestingly, I have started new relationships. I mean, there was I can't remember his name of his gallery, actually. It's the man from Batley.
Totally Biblical.
Totally Biblical.
Oh, I love that. I'd exhibit with them just because the gallery name.
And to be honest, I mean, it's a very hard thing, if you are trusting your art to somebody else.
Absolutely.
You've got your frames, but I don't know, there was just something about this guy, Simon's name. Simon, I just liked his
shout out for Simon at Totally Biblical.
And he's like, it was just amazing because I'd never been to Batley, and I still haven't been to Batley.
Where is Batley?
Where is Batley?
Where's Batley?
It's Leeds.
It's near south of Leeds, I think. South of Leeds. But I mean, what was so amazing about Simon's place was it was a whole emporium of different people selling furniture. It's
like a department store.
It's like a department store in a in a mill, basically. I like the fact it's in a mill. I mean, that's just like that's nice. That's nice. So, and I'm the other thing. It's like a bit like the no, there's no furniture on show here, but I like the idea that art and furniture can be in close proximity.
Absolutely.
I like the combination. I haven't really, totally sussed it out yet.
No, Eleanor needs a sofa. I just want to point that out to you.
We have actually got a beautiful 1950s or 60s sofa that belonged to Eleanor's granny upstairs. But we're working on it.
It's not usable.
It's not used.
Eleanor, we are really feeling for you. No, I agree though. Being able to photograph your work in a context so people can see it, how it would look in a real setting, really helps people to understand how that might transfer into their own home. Yeah, absolutely. So we've got some questions, Richard. Let's ask it.
I love questions, because it's always going to take it somewhere you're not normally
You just don't know. So the first one is, how many years worth of are those yellow boxes?
How many years?
How many years have you been collecting those yellow boxes?
86, I think.
86,
19.
I was going to say,
19.
wow, you're doing well. Do you take collagen? 86 years.
1986. I
So
think
about
it's really,
24 years then.
I can't believe I actually gave some away. I didn't know that Kodak were going to stop making them.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. I'm in shock by the whole thing. So
Kodak, you can still get Kodak film though, can't you?
film, yeah. Buy the film, but the boxes.
But the actual boxes with all the paper.
You have to buy it on a roll now.
Really?
Yeah, you have to buy it on a roll. So I don't know. I haven't actually got one of those boxes around. They are what's on top of the settee upstairs. But
because you can't use the settee.
No, but though what I've only shown you here is the smaller prints. So these are like the 10-12s. I mean, upstairs there's 30-inch prints.
Wow, we'd
imagine
like a quick.
this, but
We want to quickly run up.
They're in
We
brown
want
boxes, not yellow. Not.
They need to be in yellow with the yellow door.
Yeah.
So the next question, Eleanor, prepare yourself. Is who is operating the camera? So Eleanor, you're going to have to pip round to the other side and everyone see you. Very quickly, turn yourself around. There she is. Oh no, she went again.
I must just press it.
Hi, everyone. There's Eleanor. Eleanor, we love you, Eleanor. You've done a great job of the camera.
Thanks.
And also, obviously, we're going to be on Richard's case permanently now about getting you a sofa.
Yes.
Is there any other items of furniture that you'd like?
A dishwasher.
A dishwasher.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
This is
pretty
not.
high on my list.
This is not blankety blank.
Yes.
Here comes the dishwasher on the conveyor belt. So how is this camera? So we've answered that one. So do you work to commission?
I do work. I haven't done it for a very long time. I think you are whatever you project. And for a while, I was doing quite a few. Well, the only way you can make a living as an art photographer was to do commissions.
Yeah.
It didn't seem, over 15 years ago, there didn't seem to be the market to buy photography. And I mean, I swapped from the commission-based making a living to selling art when I worked out people did want to buy photography for their living rooms or whatever. So I did do some commissions like a long time ago, like 10 years ago. Anna's going to show the books here. So what I would do, I would get a commission. So this one's called A Different Light, Images of Thurrock. So here I was commissioned to photograph Thurrock for 6 months, which is quite nice. Often I get employed to make things look interesting, places people don't normally go, was the commission really.
Marketing Thurrock, my goodness, that was a task.
Yeah. So they had
Gosh, I would even be tempted to go there, and I know Thurrock.
So it's quite nice because they're also part of the commission. It wasn't my part of the commission, was to get the community to write poetry, and this was all combined in a book. I also got the commission. This is a long time ago now. Probably I don't know, maybe 18 years ago. I got commissioned by the ICA to photograph fast food in London. And this is with the writer Kevin Jackson. So Kevin talked about our tours around and our experiences of photographing fast food joints. So that was really nice. And this one was commissioned. It's probably the last one I've done actually, about 8 years ago. Where I'm trying to find my bit. So this is my bit in the book. So this is a new estate that's been built about 3 miles away. Not these ones, but how I have worked with commissions is I've basically, this will sound completely strange now, but the last ones I did, I photographed for free. But the agreement was they got, like, these are like for like museums, mainly museums. So I would photograph the road that the museum was on, or I photographed Bletchley Park. So I was given access that nobody else had really got to at that time. They got a set of pictures that they could use for their own publicity. And I got a set of pictures that I could sell as limited edition prints. So that was how I was.
That's quite a good transaction, isn't it? Because no one else is going to get in there and you can take your unique take on it.
That's right. That's how I kind of sort of worked it, rather than, I don't know if there are these kind of like commissions these days to, I don't know. I haven't really, you are, again, you are what you are. I mean, if I put myself out there as like, I do commissions and I really push that side of things, that's what people know me for. But at the moment, it's the limited edition.
Yeah, the more art
prints and doing the fairs, and now it's like, I mean, what I am actually really re-energized at the moment, because I have done the fairs for 15 years, and now I'm starting to do stuff on YouTube, and I love that because you can put a few pictures up on the wall. But
yeah, I love all of this digital life and all of the opportunities that it's bringing. And as I say, I just see all of this as a massive opportunity to, embrace what's out there. And when art fairs first started, that was all very like scary and new, and how's that going to look and how's that going to work? And now that's just part of our everyday life. So this new digital era is just exciting. I just think that's just another opportunity for all of you to get to a wider audience, and to really, for them to connect with you as human beings and see who you are and hear the story and then buy the work.
Absolutely. And it's combining the two, the art fair and the kind of movie making or whatever. I don't know what you call it. It's all, I think it will actually
visibility. I think digital visibility.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just find it really interesting that I can tell more stories about the artwork than just putting maybe that's boring, but I think most people are
thoroughly interested. I've really enjoyed spending this time in your studio. Ellen has become a bit of an enigma because all of the rest of the questions are about who's moving the camera, is someone else there? She's the enigma. I think she may need to get her own YouTube channel after this.
she would be absolutely brilliant on her own YouTube channel. But she's so I don't know the right word, shy about this. It's like we were like editing the latest YouTube thing, and she'd done all this like camera work, and she didn't want to put her name by it. It was like, oh,
Eleanor, tut. Now I have to take you in hand now. And she's become the enigma. And I think everybody who's going to be doing the lives after you is going to want an Eleanor, because it's been great.
Well, everyone wants an Eleanor. I mean, I'm very lucky.
You're very lucky.
There are artists, I think, that aren't jealous.
Because she helps you with your business. She knows all the data, and she films.
I met Eleanor. She was running another gallery we met in Milan, you see. So we were on
at the
affordable art fair in Milan. So we were on a similar path, basically. But I must say, this is like changing the subject slightly.
No, do.
What do you say about, because keep on thinking about the commission thing. Now, what has happened in terms of commission thing, like with the images of the vinyl? I mean, someone has really said, can I have this record? And there we have we have to hunt high and low to find a record. There we have specially made something.
We made Bruce Springsteen last month.
Yeah, we made Bruce Springsteen last month. And then especially the records.
Lucky Bruce.
There's a restaurant in New York, and it's got they wanted 40 records. It's shown on the back of a gold background. And again, so it's like the commission is much more about making the artwork to fit the space. So that's how you commission to do something similar.
Yeah, that you've already got.
Just sort of tweaking it. And I think, I mean, one of the ways we make the art as these groups, they, you know, this is a big thing. They are groups. So you don't just like buy one picture. Well, you can buy one picture, but if you want to buy a few that work together, and of course that's something online, you know, that you want to do. You want to be like Amazon a bit, mate. People have bought this. Also, you know, you might be interested in this, and you know, it's all those kind of, like, you know, you're only a small player, but you've got to act in a similar manner. But I mean,
it's mindset.
It's an awful lot of work. I mean, to be honest, you know, Eleanor was like mainly doing this side of thing, and now we're sort of employing someone else half a day a week.
That's great, isn't it?
Half a day a week?
Half all day a week.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Every day. Like someone said, if you want the internet to work, you gotta like have someone like full time on it. So, and I think that's, you know.
I think that's true. The artists that I work with who, you know, there's tipping points all the time, aren't there? So you start out on your own. I mean, even for someone like me, you know, I started out on my own, and then I got one person working for me, and then I got another person. And the more people you have, the more you can do, because you're just concentrating on the thing that you're brilliant at, which is for you is taking the images and then producing the prints in the darkroom. Everything else can be done by other people, can't it? And that grows your business and means that you can be more successful.
But there is that tipping point. There is that tipping point where, unfortunately, you've got to have that success for financially to be able
to tip.
How you do that is the hardest thing. And this whole internet thing, you kind of think, oh my God, am I just wasting a lot of time on this? You don't know what's going.
We have to be in it to win it.
You have to be in it, but I mean, it's a dangerous game. I mean,
it's dangerous.
It's
not as dangerous as going out right now. Staying in is much safer.
Yeah, I mean, I think I do take life a bit to the edge sometimes. You know, it is. You know, I mean, certainly some of the art fairs we've done, you know, around the other side of the world, is a bit. Luckily, nothing went wrong. You know, but it's been, you know, it is a stressful journey.
That's the thing. You've pushed your tipping point because you've gone, I need to do that, so I'm going to push myself to the edge. You have to be brave. We all have to be a bit vulnerable sometimes, do things that we don't know quite what it's going to turn out like, and just push off and just get on with it. And if you bring the right energy, which you've totally brought the right energy today, then it will be amazingly successful.
But I do think, I mean, I don't like boxing, but I mean, it's unfortunately, it's one of those things where you do have to take a big punch sometimes. Get yourself off the canvas.
Exactly.
And you know, this art game, maybe any game, it's all like that. You know, there's this huge highs and there are huge lows as well. And you literally have to totally, you know, ride it out. And it just gets going. We were going to do a show in New York once, and we were like, oh my God, can we even fly there? Because of that volcano in Iceland. And it's like,
I remember the Iceland volcano. I got trapped in France.
It's not a bad place to get trapped.
No, I was like, okay, how long can I possibly drag this out for? But yeah, but that just absolutely classic, isn't it? We're always being presented with what I see as opportunities to push ourselves off the edge, to make some changes, and who knows, what's round that corner is the most exciting thing.
Well,
it's the new thing.
I should say another thing that is like we're going to do. We're going to get down to Brighton in a week's time. We're going to do a show in a new. It's just a pop. It's just a pop up, and that was something that came about just by.
So where about?
Yeah, but I don't think you should say just a pop up.
No, pop ups are great, but they're only there temporarily.
I shouldn't say it's a pop up.
No, it's not that. You just didn't say the word just.
Oh, it's just. Oh, that's my.
He didn't mean just. Eleanor, don't worry. He didn't mean just. He meant it's a pop-up.
It does. Well, that's an opportunity that I can't quite remember how it happened, but.
And what's the name of the pop-up?
Paxton and Glue.
Paxton and Glue.
Oh, Paxton and Glue. Right, so let me type that in the sidebar, because there's a lot of people who'll be Paxton and Glue, and you'll be there. What dates? I know Eleanor's going to know this.
Eleanor's good. You see, you can
From the 16th of September.
Yeah, there you go. From
16th September. So that's going to be interesting, and that's another opportunity that came about through. I think Emily saw my work on Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she sort of jumped the gun a bit because it wasn't jump the gun, but because we got the bleach box and the gallery. But I mean, this space is more to do with making.
So
work.
I'm telling them all to go down and meet you and Eleanor in Brighton. In Brighton.
I don't know. Well, are we there? I don't know. Our artwork will be there.
You need to be there for a bit.
And a lot of other amazing artists. So
do you know how many other artists are exhibiting?
No, but they do these special projects where every artist, so over the summer they did something called the Vitamin C project, where everyone had a beach hut, which they not decorated. They put their art onto the beach hut. They're absolutely stunning, really cute, collectible items. And prior to that, they did architecture, like miniatures of high-rise buildings, and also trains, like miniature trains.
Wow!
And they just
sounds amazing.
So cool.
They sound
really
amazing.
Brings the artists together.
Yeah, I think anything that brings everyone together.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Richard. This has been just awesome. Really enjoyed it. I'd really love the opportunity at some point to show your work as well. I really love it, and hopefully I'll get the opportunity to exhibit your work at some point in the future down the road when we're allowed to do such things. I've just noticed there's a couple more questions flashed up, so let's just make sure we have answered. Okay, is it a rude question? Does Richard make a living from this wonderful art career, including all the expenses?
I do.
Of going to art fairs. So all the expenses that you are a full-time working artist making a living.
Yeah, I don't make my living any other way. Any other way. One thing I'd say about art fairs, they used to be the place where you would do. It was about making the money there at the fair. Now I think it's become much more of a show situation where you mustn't necessarily think, I haven't taken so much money as I've taken the year before, because people are much more buying online. It's all.
So the art fair is another touch point, isn't it? It's another touch trust point. And where the sale comes from eventually is kind of irrelevant, how it all comes to you.
There's people who've seen me at an art fair from 7 years ago, and they say, "We still got that piece, Richard. Is that still available?" This is how long.
We have that all the time.
How long this is all working. So
I often get called like that.
These seeds out there, and then they germinate. So you shouldn't despair sometimes, but it'll.
No, we just sold a piece that was a year ago. Someone saw it a year ago when they happened to see it as part of an exhibition, and they called me at the beginning of lockdown and said, I can't get that piece out of my mind. Have you still got it? And I said, well, unfortunately for you, I had to take that exhibition down because of COVID. So it's here. And they came and they drove up to the gate, and I packed it and left it there, and they came and picked it up. So yeah, no touching. and a year, 2 years, it's the touch points that's the most important thing.
Making a living from art. I used to teach art, and I realised, there were signs being sent to me that I could maybe make a living from selling art. But I really believe if you really want to be an artist and make a living from it, you really have got to do it absolutely full time.
Yeah, you've got to give it your all.
It's absolutely. It's a lot. As you can see from this house, it's a
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. it's 7 days. It's 7 days a week. I would.
So the answer is yes, but you are properly embedded and dedicated to your work and your
I mean,
your
but I can only
business.
say that's my case.
That's true.
I don't know, how anyone else.
I think most of the artists I work with who are super successful like you, it is like a 7 day a week, 7 days a week, 7 days a week job, and they also have people who are helping them with the business side of it and the website side of it. They have to buy in all of that, kind of extra.
And you've got to be like jack of all trades, I've got to be van man at times. You've got to do.
Be prepared to roll up your sleeves.
And do all sorts of things.
And the final question is, how did you hear about Pure ART360? I know the answer to this, but you can tell.
Ellen knows.
We watched the live you did with Ryan Sania of the other art fair.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah, you told me that, Richard, when you emailed me. You said, I saw you on the live with Ryan. So I knew the answer. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Because, those lives are what I was doing really at the beginning to show, it's a show and tell. It's like, if I show you, it's much better than me telling you, well, you need to get visible and this is how you do it. So I'll show you. And now everyone's understanding they have to do this digital, and we're helping a lot of people along the way. And actually, it's all, there's no competition. There's plenty of room out there for everyone, all the artists to thrive. And you've just shown that. I mean, you're doing a superb job, and I've really loved this conversation. It was meant to be 30 minutes and it's been over an hour.
Oh my God.
So that's super cool because I've really enjoyed it, and as the first one going, you set the benchmark to show people how to do it really well, having someone there to hold the camera for you, and being engaging and honest and being honest. You've been
I like questions.
completely
I must say, I like
honest.
questions. I really do like questions. It brings something out of me. If I just stood up in a room and started talking about my art, it wouldn't be the same. I appreciate
the interaction. And also the great thing is that they can ask questions on here, and you've got me and I'll ask questions as well, but that makes it like an artist open studio. You wouldn't go in and just go, okay, and present now. You'd go in and you'd ask the person the question. So it's very like an artist open studio or an art fair where people come and ask you questions.
To be honest, I'm not. I can be really quite shy actually in an open studio.
Well, you've done really well.
No. In this sort of situation, it's good. It comes.
Well, tomorrow Annie's telling us we're going to have a comedy show, so I'm quite. Tune in tomorrow because Annie's promising me comedy tomorrow. I'm quite intrigued. So thank you, Richard, so much.
Thank you very much for coming round.
I really enjoyed coming round to your studio and having a look around. I've loved to meet Eleanor. You've answered all the questions really honestly, and I really totally appreciate that on behalf of everyone viewing and all the artists. You're really, really inspirational. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
And we'll be in contact, obviously, after this. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Great job. And hopefully I'll get the opportunity to exhibit your work at some point because I really, really love it. Well done, and well done to Eleanor. So I'm going to... Bye! So we're going to end the broadcast now. All right.
Bye.
And we say bye. Can we go... Oh, they've ended the broadcast already. So I was going to say show us out of your yellow door. But anyway, that's it. So I'll end the broadcast and I'll sit. And tomorrow is Annie Catford and we're promised comedy. So you better bring it, Annie. Bye for now.